the day of the 6th night of Hanukkah. I've realized that as I've been vlogging these days, I haven't given you a reading update in a little while. Shh. Quiet. Shh. It's okay. You'll be okay. Sorry, it's the dogs I'm watching. But I haven't given you a reading update in a while, and that is... They're just barking because one of the other dogs is outside. That is because, I have been doing a lot of reading, but we've been busy with getting our other dog back. So yesterday we took her to the vet to make sure that everything was okay and she didn't pick up any kind of parasites or anything on her grand adventure. And she looks great. The doctor just told us to come back in about 3 weeks because if your dog does have parasites, you can't do anything about it until they have reached their adult stage of life. Because then they will have remigrated to the digestive tract where you can get rid of them. Delightful, I know. But I did finish reading 8 Kinky Nights. I loved it so much. I ended up giving it 5 stars just because I've realized that I'm super into romance stories where the characters just sit around and talk about how they feel. I'm realizing that, like, that's what's making or breaking the romance for me, and that's what's making me feel invested in the sexier parts of the story if the book decides to go there. I know that, like, romance novels have varying levels of like fade to black versus other things. I'm sorry. This is just ridiculousness. Nico! Shh! Quiet! She's not gonna be quiet, is she? Anyways, I started reading a little anthology that's called 8 Kisses, which is basically a short story collection. I finished the first 2 stories in it. The first one was this one called A Highlander for Hanukkah, which was really funny because I don't really get the romanticization of, like, Scotland and Scottish Highlanders. Hey, it's okay. Shh. Neeks. So yeah, I don't really get the romanticization of Scotland and stuff, I guess because it seems like exotic or whatever, but that's kind of where my family has some history, so like, I don't know, it just seems weird to me because it's like, this is particularly normal and not very exotic, but I loved the like historical aspect of that story. And then the second one that I read, I didn't care for as much. It was basically like a, you know, old rivals turning to lovers, small town romance. But I don't know. I'm realizing maybe that Hate to Love needs to be done better in terms of like emotional intimacy and stuff like that for me to get really invested in it. Because otherwise it just doesn't seem like it would be a great foundation for a lot of these relationships. And I know that's not the point, but that's what I'm thinking about as I'm reading this. So I have my tea for the morning. I have some cinnamon bread that I'm going to eat for breakfast. I'm going to do a little bit of reading, and I will talk to you again soon. Okay, so I just finished the most recent story in this Hanukkah anthology that is called Frisky Connections. And I hated it. I did not like it at all. The 2 characters got engaged after dating each other for a grand total of 5 weeks, literally just so that there could be a happy ending on the holiday. That is not really my kind of thing at all. It doesn't make any sense. Also, like, I feel like in this one in particular, the sex scenes were really awkward to read. There are a couple, like, words that people will use when they're writing sex scenes that, like, if they overuse those words, it immediately just, like, pulls me out of the scene, and I'm just like, I don't think people are really thinking about it in these terms, maybe. Yeah, I did not really care for that one at all. It was a little weird, too, because the conflict in it also seemed pretty contrived. Like, it was basically just like, I don't know if you'll love me because I'm the CEO of the company that made the dating app that helped us find each other. Well, that's okay. I don't know if you'll love me because I write a blog about relationships. I mean, I don't know. I think that, like, they definitely should have, like, been more upfront with each other at the beginning, but also having that as, like, kind of a contrived point of conflict didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I don't know. Didn't really like this one. The next one up is called Love and Latkes, so hopefully it's a little bit better.